All right, second grade, welcome back with your notebook. So we are going to write the next word problem together because we need to do cubs in step 2. So in order to do that, you need to have the word problem written down in your notebook. I am giving you time to write it together while the video is going. If you need more time, please feel free to pause the video. So our next word problem is there are 217 animals at the shelter. 123 animals get adopted. How many animals are still at the shelter? All right, second grade, I know that is quite a few words, so I'm going to give you a moment to finish writing while I'm talking. Ooh, I do notice that the light is kind of in the way. So here, let me see if I can fix that while you are writing. Oh. All right, well, it's still there, but at least it's under the word still. All right, if you still need time, please pause the video because we are moving on. Now, step 1 is read. We already kind of did that while we were writing, but let's read it one more time together. Read it with me. Let's go now. There are 217 animals at the shelter. 123 animals get adopted. How many animals are still at the shelter? Step 1 done. Super simple. Moving on. Step 2, use cubs. So C, we all know what does C mean? You got it. Circle numbers. So while I'm finding my numbers, I want you to circle them in your notebook. There are 200 animals at the shelter. 123 animals adopted. How many animals are still at the shelter? All right, second grade, by now you've probably found our two numbers, our 217 and 123. Now, you might have noticed that I was kind of rereading the problem under my breath. That is a really awesome thing to do in order to better understand what the word problem is asking you. The more you read it, the better you understand it. So that's just a little tip for me. Now we need to underline the, you got it, question. And our question is, how many animals are still at the shelter? Please make sure you're underlining that question just like I did. Great. We're moving on to B, which means box important words. Now, while I'm rereading it, I notice that there are not any specific words that tell me that I am subtracting or adding, like the word left or in all, but there are clues that let me know if I am adding or subtracting. It says there are 27 animals at the shelter. 123 animals get adopted. So I know adopted means they leave the shelter. And when something leaves, we are normally subtracting. So I'm going to write the word, or box the word adopted. Let me finish off and see if there's anything else that either changes my mind or tells me, yep, we're subtracting. How many animals are still at the shelter? Ooh, so I know still at the shelter means that we need to find out how many are left at the shelter. So even though the words are written differently, we still are trying to figure out how many are left, which tells me we are subtracting. All right, I'm going to give you a moment to make sure you have everything circled, underlined, and boxed. And then we're going to move on to step 3. Great job. You should have everything done by now. If not, that's okay. Just pause the video. Step 3 tells us to write an equation. And writing an equation, if you haven't really heard the word equation, that just means writing the numbers and symbols in order to solve the problem. So the equation is the numbers and symbols that we write. So I know that we are subtracting, and it is super simple for us to subtract when we write our equation up and down the vertical way. So we're going to do that now. The first number you should be writing in your notebook is 217. What number are we going to write next? You got it, 123, and you should be writing that right underneath 217, making sure the 1 is in the hundreds place, the 2 is in the tens place, and the 3 is in the ones place. We are subtracting, so I'm going to remember that subtraction sign and that line underneath, which kind of represents an equal sign. Now we are ready to do step 4, which means to solve. So I'm going to start in my ones place. 7 subtract 2. I can do that. If I have 7 and I take away 3, did I say 2 before? 7 take away 3. I can do that still too. 7 take away 3 equals 4. Did that mentally, but remember, you can use any strategy. Now I have 1 10, take away 2 10s. Can we do that, second grade? No, we can't. You guys are on top of it. You already know that. So what are we going to do? Show me in your notebook. Ooh, I already can tell that some friends are already borrowing 100. So they're taking one of these hundreds. So I only have 100 left and changing this 110 into 11 tens. So 11 subtract 2, right in your notebook. What do you think that answer is? You got it. It is 9. Moving on to our last place value, our hundreds. 1 subtract 1 equals 0. You could write a 0 under here, but it would still represent the number 94. All right, now before I send you on your way, remember, like I said in the last problem, you are going to see this in your lesson or your assignment today. Line, circle, line, circle, line, and then whatever the words are, which we are subtracting animals today. Now, before I went line, circle, I just went through it in order. If you want, you know this is subtraction, so you can plop those symbols in there right away. So we're subtracting, and my equal sign. We always need an equal sign in our equations. And then you can just plop in those numbers. 217, our first number. Subtract 123. So far, we have 217, subtract 123 equals, and our answer is 94. Now you might be thinking, wait, Mrs. Josh, you forgot number 5, which means check our answer, and you are absolutely correct. I did forget. So let's do that now before I send you on your way. So my smaller numbers, we're going to flip this equation around. So my 2 smaller numbers are 123 plus our answer, 94. If we add them together correctly, we should get 217. So 3 plus 4, 7, 2 plus 9, 9, 10, 11. So I'm going to put that 110 down here, carry that 100. 1 plus 1 equals 2, and bada bing, bada boom. We got the right answer, so we are ready to move on. If you need more examples, I am going to attach another video underneath our assignment today that you can click on if you would like to. All right, second grade, I can't wait to see you solving all of these word problems.